Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 3 of Gotham Chess's Over the Board tournament. So, in the first two games, Levy got a draw and then a loss. So it's not been a very good start, so he's hoping to maybe rekindle some, good form, get a win somewhere. He's got the black pieces today, playing up against Rose Atwell, who is a FIDE master, okay, and she started 0.5 out of 2 as well, actually. So they're both looking to get their first win. Levy with the black pieces, Rose Atwell with the white. We get d4, knight f6, c4, e6, g3, d5, bishop g2, and bishop b4 check. So I have no idea what opening this is. It looks like some sort of Catalan for white. With the D and the C pawn out, bishop on the fianchetto. In fact, that's exactly what this is. I don't know why I think that's what this is. That is exactly what this is. From here, we get bishop d2, bishop e7, knight f3, and short castles. So everything relatively simple out the opening. Nothing too drastic to report. We get c6, queen c2, knight to d7, b3, and knight e4. So the knight getting centralized, attacking this bishop. Lovely little square for it, really, isn't it? That's what happens when you push this d pawn too far and block this pawn from pushing. You can't attack it unless you sort of, I don't know, where are you going to put the knight? You can't go here because, BOP! You're dead. Who knows? Bishop f4. We get f5 centralising in the middle. So Levy clearly just looking to take over the centre this game despite the Catalan opening. Maybe looking for a trade at some point. That's the good thing about the Catalan. You normally just completely overrun the centre, but Levy is not having that this game. He is striking in the middle, cementing this knight in there. Just looks glorious. And the thing is now, even if you play a move like this, I don't know, you can just play here, and even if you trade this knight off, you just got another one to put there. So you have to lose a bishop, really, and Levy's just going to completely overrun the centre. So this is glorious. But from here we get the move h4. Levy comes back with h6. Knight c3. g5. Takes. Oh, this looks terrifying, doesn't it? I hate it when my h file's open. I honestly hate it because for some reason my opponent will always just have a queen on it. And then you just reroute the king somehow, get a rook, and bye-bye game. Checkmate is coming. So from here, Rose Atwell plays bishop e3. We get bishop f6, knight to knight, rook to d1, and queen to e7. So everything relatively simple at the opening. I know that eval bar is like swaying slightly in favour of white, but at this point it won't really matter. I mean, like, how does white justify that advantage? I mean, Levy's got a strong centre, a really strong knight. The H file is open. Maybe king safety is that 0.7. Like you would probably argue that this being around the king is safer than what black's going on. I'd imagine. That's all I can really think of. Because everything just looks very even, doesn't it? Levy's taking more space, but this king is safer. That's the logic we're going with. Knight takes on e4. Pawn takes. The d pawn, that is. Knight e1, and now Levy has an opportunity to take a huge advantage with the move e5, which he does find. Why this is a huge advantage, I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I really couldn't tell you. I'd have to run through multiple lines to see why this is so good. This is such a subtle move. I mean, if takes, the knight would take back probably, and it just has dominion over the centre of the board. So that's very strong. It does open up this rook, but I don't really think that's a major issue. I really don't. But from here we get the move d5. Levy obviously takes with his c-pawn, which, was that the best move? No, honestly, the eval has been wanting this for a little while now. Just take over the h-file, and Levy has not played it. Oh, and he had an opportunity to play it there again. So this is the best move in the position by far. Really wants you to take over this h-file, but Levy does not find it, and he plays b6, which is a major mistake. We get the move g4, which is apparently stupendous. Why? Why is that so? Oh, it's not white's move. What does Levy need to play here? What are the best moves we got? Oh, well, I don't really know, to be honest. Maybe like here? No. Still wants queen h7, really. Or Maybe like bishop a6, just putting pressure on this rook. I mean, this pawn would be weak if the queen moved away, so maybe bishop a6. But Levy plays the wonderful move f4, which is a huge mistake. And the reason this is a mistake is because, well, you might just be thinking, well, white just has to move the bishop back, and this just looks awful for white. There's something called danger levels in chess, where if your piece is being attacked, you don't always have to move it. You can just go attack one of their pieces. And in this position, Rose Atwell finds the amazing move d6. And now the queen's under threat, and you obviously can't take because then you just lose the queen. And you obviously can't take here because again you just lose the queen. So Levy has to move the queen. And when you move the queen, again, white doesn't actually have to move this bishop. And now you might be wondering, well, why? There's no threat on the queen. There's this move, bishop e4. And now if takes, you take the rook. It's an absolutely glorious idea by Rose Atwell. I mean, d6 was such a good move. So Levy plays queen to e8. We then get bishop takes by Mrs. Atwell. Mrs. or Miss? Couldn't tell you. She's just a great chess player. We then get, obviously, the rook sliding over to b8 because you really don't want to lose the rook. And then we get the bishop going all the way back to c1. So now Rose Atwell is just up a pawn because of d6. Absolutely glorious move. And there's also going to be some threats later on of this promoting. I mean, such a great idea playing d6. It really was. We get knight c5. Bishop comes and gives a check. Why is this a mistake? Not because of that. What does it want? Maybe like just move the king. Oh, wow. That's, yeah, so you gain a tempo. You wanted to move the king anyway if you're black. So white has just let Levy move the king for free because he's in check, so he has to. And then the reason this is so dangerous is because the bishop is attacking this pawn. And there's also threats of rook to h8, which is such a powerful move. Even after this, if you play here and just take over this file, it's scary for white. If you can just overload this king side, it is going to get a bit scary. I mean, yeah, I wonder if, like, let's just say white played a load of nothing moves. Obviously, this wouldn't happen. But then you could even, like, sack here, probably. Yeah, and you still have a huge advantage. Oh, so you're not actually you're meant to block with the knight. No? Oh, the bishop. Block with the bishop. So bishop g2. Rook h6. It wants e4. And then double stack here. Oh my god. I mean, just look at this. This is what I mean. This is why rook h8 is such a crucial idea. After moving your king out of this check. So Levy does play g7, f3, and now you've got to be hoping for rook to h8 here. It's Levy's only real hope of staying in this game. It's the only move. Oh, he plays queen d7. That's just not nice, is it? That's not a nice move. How long did he spend? He only spent 2 minutes. Or not even that. 1.5 minutes thinking about queen to d7. Oh, that's a really bad move. I mean, I don't even understand the thought process behind it. Levy will do a recap and explain it. And I'm sure he, felt completely justified in this move. But yeah, I don't know. You set up a battery with the bishop, but this pawn is not going anywhere because it's defended by this pawn. Maybe he's just thinking, I'm going to block this pawn from moving forwards. But, I don't know, after a move like, can you play here if you're white? No, not there, sorry. What was I thinking? I don't know. So yeah, kick the knight away, which Rose does. Knight to e6. Oh, and then it's bishop c6. Right, because the queen now defends, of course. That was so stupid. So you have to move the queen anyway, so queen d7 just seems like such a bad move. And now the pawn's going to push. And this is getting very scary for Levy, guys. Because you're looking at making a queen here. Oh my god, that's such a subtle move, isn't it? Playing b5 there is glorious. That is absolutely glorious. So Levy plays knight to d4 to block the rook from seeing this pawn. And Rose Atwell sacrifices the rook! What on earth? Doing it to Levy as well. I mean, that's just not right, is it? What a move, though. And then we get queen e4. So this bishop is just under severe threat. Take the bishop. Move back, attacking the rook. Queen has to move, obviously. Oh, the rook slides over. We finally get rook h8. Could we be looking at some counterplay, maybe? Rook to h6. Knight shuffles, queen moves back. Oh, wow. Wow. Rook to h2. That's a nice move, isn't it? Because now you trade it off. You give a check. But now what do you do? The king can always get away. That there's not enough pieces here for black to have any real threat. And white has an insane threat coming down this side of the board. It is definitely getting scary for Levy. Wow. I mean, this says it's a great move, but you know they obviously weren't going to play here, because you just lose the knight. So I know it says that's a great move. It's not. I mean, anyone could play that. I'm not having that. Bishop comes over, attacks the queen. Blah 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 blah. Gives a check. There's a mate in 15 here. Mate in 11 now, actually. It's calculated it better. Oh my god. Look at this move. So it attacks the rook. And it cuts off the king from these squares. The queen can now give a check on this square. Win the bishop. Oh my god. Rook has to move away. Check. Wins the bishop. Check again. Ah. And in this position, Levy resigns. Because after this, there's queen f8 check. And then, well, it doesn't matter where you go, it's mate in 1. If you go here, then where is the mate? Here? Yeah, that's checkmate. And if you go here, well, it's just the same again, isn't it? Yeah. So wherever you go, bishop e4 is checkmate. So Levy resigns. Man, that's such a harsh game. It just all fell apart after one move. This one move, pawn f4, just the game was then gone. Because of this amazing idea, d6. This is just such a powerful move. And this pawn was such a big presence at the end of the game. That is such a powerful move. To find that, I mean, that's just incredible. It's such fine margins at the top, isn't it? I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, f4 just looks like such a natural move. But d6 is just crushing. Look at that. That is just genuinely unbelievable. That is genuinely unbelievable. Hey ho, so Levy's still winless after 3 games. He obviously got a draw in the first game, and now he has 2 losses. He plays again later today though, so stick around for that review. We will be posting that up on the channel. Wow. Please like the video, guys, if you enjoy this style of content. It just lets me know to carry on doing it, and it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.